Hi guys, welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane and we are standing in Leipzig, a city in the east of Germany that was formerly a part of the DDR. And today we are looking at a beautiful apartment that is located in this incredible historic building. Come in! The building itself was built around 1905, which was a period where in Germany a lot of buildings were built under the style of historicism, which consisted of just essentially copying old styles. And in this building a very classical style has been copied, which is why we have all of these beautiful old historic doors that are over 100 years old, and we can just see all of the molding that these doors have. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe. This apartment was bought and renovated with the goal of keeping this historic charm alive and yet introducing a new and modern atmosphere. And this is what we have today. We are standing in the center of the studio, and as you can see, it is very bold and a lot of eclectic colors have been used. The color palette consists of this beautiful, deep, dark hunter green that has been paired with these very feminine peachy curtains. And what I feel like we can really learn from this beautiful apartment is the fact that they took a very masculine color, such as the dark green, and paired it with a very feminine color, with a peachy pink. Because of this, the apartment feels in perfect balance, and I feel like we can really learn a lot from this. The studio itself consists of 3 rooms. Right now we are standing in the main room where we have the bed and the dining table. And you can see that the bed takes up the center of the room. The studio is located in a very historic part of Leipzig. So if we look outside, I can see a beautiful reddish pinkish brick facade. And I believe that this color was pulled in, and this is where the color was found as inspiration for the beautiful curtains. And often it's just little things like these that when you look out the window, they can inspire a design and create the spark that you need for a creative design. The architecture makes up all of the historic details that we have in this apartment. The room itself is framed by a lot of windows, and because the apartment has this almost octagonal shape, we just have this beautiful seating over here, and you can see that the building itself creates a natural niche. So here we have a small table standing where you can sit and read after a long day or have your dinner. We have 2 elegant modern chairs that are standing next to the table, and they are in this soft gray color. And while you're sitting here, you just have this incredible view into 3 different sides of the outside, and that is very unique. A goal during the renovation was to enhance and keep this old historic charm. One of the ways that the designers did this is by adding these moldings that are supposed to create an historic effect and just reference to the old historic moldings that used to be here 100 years ago. Inside the moldings, paintings have been framed, and they act almost as kind of natural frames yet again. And we can see that it's little moldings and details like these. They really make up the wall and give it structure and repetition. We can see also that the moldings have very similar dimensions to the windows. When designing a space, it's always very important to look at the scales and dimensions that you already have in the place and in the architecture, and then you can pull inspiration from that and create your own design. And then it will always feel coherent and feel like it has always been there. Let's go inside the kitchen now. We can see that because of the layout and because there aren't that many things standing inside this room, even though the space isn't gigantic, it feels very grand and you have a lot of space to live here comfortably. This is the kitchen. We can see that we don't have any doors, but that we just have this wall opening, and it feels very big. And here, this is what I talked about, that here, this is where the living room and the studio basically ends and this is where the kitchen starts. If you come inside here, you can just feel a complete change of atmosphere and mood, and you can just see how much color has an impact into your everyday life. Here we have the kitchenette. It is again color-coded to perfection. The bottom panels are gray and we have this marble-like countertop. Everything else is black. And to just add this little wow effect when you are doing your dishes or cooking something here, the back is actually covered in brass. And just by adding this shiny material, you have a lot of reflection and the space seems to expand and you just have this very simple yet luxurious feeling while you're in the kitchen. Even though this is basically just a kitchenette and it doesn't have too many functions, what the designers did to create a stunning effect and make it feel really luxurious is wrap the brass all around it. So we actually also have it over here and over here. And this just makes the kitchenette feel like it's really inbuilt. Behind me, we have the bed. It is standing in the center of the room so that you have a very grand feeling. Even though this room has a lot of different functions, as a bedroom, the room is very big and feels very grand. We can see that the colors are the exact same and there has been a strict color palette used and integrated into the design. So again, we have this dark hunter green or these beautiful peachy details, and this just creates the same atmosphere and ambience in any direction you look and any experience you have in this apartment. The bed itself is framed by a big headboard at the back and two lamps that are hanging from the ceiling. If you take a closer look at the lamp, they are essentially just a light bulb, but because of this double glass effect, it creates a very magical and luxurious atmosphere that we wouldn't otherwise have. Behind me is the hallway, and you can see that the rooms were also visually separated and zoned with colors. So the main studio is completely covered in dark green wall paint, and the paint actually also goes all the way up to the ceiling. So we just have this kind of enchanted cave that we find ourselves in. The other two rooms, the hallway behind me as for the kitchen, are both held in this peachy pink. And you can see that just by giving rooms different colors, you can really create very clear lines of when a room starts and when a new function begins. Behind me, we have a wardrobe where you can store your things and put everything. Or my favorite piece of art in this apartment is this beautiful wallpaper print by William Morris. William Morris is a designer and architect who created an incredible variety of design, and he was also one of the leading people who founded the arts and crafts movement. And I love all of his work, so definitely go check out his wallpapers. You can just see these crazy designs that he created. Over here is the bathroom. This is the bathroom. It is very modern and it has been completely renovated. And to reference the historic style of the building and to just show that it has been here a long time, we have these vintage tiles that have been added, and they give the bathroom a whole nother level of charm. These tiles wrap all around the bathroom and they actually also go inside the shower, and this just again creates this almost like jewelry box effect that we feel like we're standing in something and it's completely enclosing us and hugging us, and I really like it. Other than that, we have a small integrated vanity, and you can see that it seamlessly blends into itself and goes over into the tiles. And it's just little details like these that can make or break a design. And we have a round mirror that just adds a little bit of dynamic in the space. And of course, the ceiling, rather than just keeping the ceiling white, it has been painted again in this hunter green color. And like I said, this is what just creates this enclosed design that makes it feel like you're just entering another world. I hope you liked the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, go and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you like colorful apartments like these.